AVS Media
Welcome back
Demo.
to 101 Thoughts. Today, I am your host, Antara Gandhi, while we discuss artificial intelligence and the ethics behind it, especially what artificial intelligence meant in the past, what it means right now, and what we can look forward to in the future. We are joined by Professor
AVS
Nikola
Media
Banovic.
Demo.
Hi, Professor Nikola. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, how are you?
AVS
Doing good,
Media
thank you.
Demo.
And for me, because I'm majoring in computer science, I really wanted to kind of do something in technology, and something that has interested me for a long time is AI. Even though I don't really have that much experience in it, I think it's
AVS
cool
Media Demo.
and super interesting. And so I kind of wanted to do something in the intersection of AI and
AVS Media
healthcare, which is
Demo.
how I got to the assistive technologies. So I guess, the first question I want to ask you is, what exactly made you interested in computer science, and more specifically artificial intelligence?
Okay,
AVS
yeah,
Media
that's a good question, but also I have to sort of
AVS
give you a little
Media
bit of a
Demo.
disclaimer. So I am a computer scientist, but my primary research area is not AI per se. It is human-computer interaction. So what I'm really interested is how we can bring some of the AI tools into human-computer
AVS
interaction
Media
research
Demo.
to help us better understand people, the different goals that they have,
AVS Media
tasks that
Demo.
they perform, and then to see whether technology or AI-based technology can play any kind of role in supporting those tasks, and also whether it should not play a role in supporting those tasks.
AVS Media
There's a
Demo.
place for technology, but there's also times where there are better solutions to
AVS
address
Media
the
Demo.
challenges that people face that is not AI, that is not technology at all, especially not computer technology. So I have to say that right away. To try and answer your original question, and it was
AVS
what
Media Demo.
made me want to be a computer scientist, and what made me want to
AVS Media
research
Demo.
in the area of human AI interaction. It's very difficult to remember what actually brought me into computer science, because it's been a little while. I have always been attracted to computers, and I remember
AVS
earlier
Media Demo.
it actually some of my earliest exposure to computers
AVS
was
Media Demo.
computer-aided design. So it was actually through the design that I got interested in the computers, and how those technologies can help aid us in designing things, especially in the domain of architecture. And then little
AVS
by
Media
little,
Demo.
I kind of had a few
AVS Media Demo.
I mean, a few turns to get to HCI. At one point, I was actually in software engineering. I was a software engineer for a little while, but as I worked in the industry, I really realized that being able to better understand
AVS Media Demo.
and technology, and look at the opportunities of how we can improve
AVS
it,
Media
really led me
Demo.
to where I am today. The master's degree that I got, the PhD degree that I got, the position of a faculty that I got, and so on, because it really is seeing all of the challenges that not just us as everyday
AVS
users
Media
face,
Demo.
but that other users face as well in different stakeholder groups. Is
AVS
very
Media
motivating.
Demo.
Part of my research during my master's was actually on accessible technology. And it was about how people who are visually impaired, how they navigate, and then realizing that there's a lot of challenges that they face, that there is some role
AVS
that
Media
technology plays,
Demo.
but also that technology cannot take away everything and solve everything is what brought me
AVS Media
where I am
Demo.
today. And then the realization that, of course, there's a lot of great things that we can do through AI, broadly defined, not just defined through what AI used to mean, but what it means today, right? Being able to
AVS
create some
Media
kind of
Demo.
general purpose intelligence that can really help
AVS
personalize,
Media Demo.
highly personalize some of the solutions that we have, so they can address the actual needs, specific needs that individuals have, and more broadly that the different stakeholder groups have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super interesting.
AVS Media
Especially,
Demo.
I heard that you mentioned that, you know, like the intersection of when
AVS
to use
Media Demo.
technology is like something that really like propels you, and that's what interests you. And I think for me, that's another interesting point because um, honestly, before I like even started looking into this paper, I kind of came in with the mentality of, well,
AVS
if
Media
people want to make their
Demo.
lives easier, then isn't technology kind of like the way to do that, essentially?
AVS Media
But
Demo.
as I looked into it, even, you know, renowned scientists such as Stephen Hawking, like I read one of his quotes. He said that AI is going to be either the best thing or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. And while I felt like
AVS
that's a
Media
drastic
Demo.
take, I kind of see it now a little bit, especially in the sense that,
AVS Media Demo.
you know, healthcare, while a part of it is about making the patient like feel more comfortable and just make them get better faster, essentially, I started reading into it, and a lot of the times people aren't really worried about, you know, that
AVS
component of,
Media
AI is
Demo.
going to take over the world or anything like that, but just that human interaction, that like
AVS
human
Media
component
Demo.
in healthcare, which while maybe AI can make a better doctor on paper, essentially, like maybe sometime in the future, I don't know if in the future that they can like kind of replace that human empathy.
AVS Media Demo.
Right. So I think it's an interesting point. A lot of people are talking about they're
AVS
looking far
Media
into the
Demo.
future and they're saying, oh, what are the dangers of AI from the perspective of some really advanced AI, and that's not what we're facing today. AI is and you know instantiations of it,
AVS
machine learning,
Media Demo.
the kind of decision-making systems that we have, knowledge bases.
AVS
All of
Media
them are
Demo.
at a very early stages. The dangers today come from the fact that we build these systems very poorly. And it's not just AI. You know, a wrong if then else statement, a
AVS
misused
Media
if then
Demo.
else statement that is hidden in a large system, opaque
AVS Media
system
Demo.
that somebody does not allow you to take a look at the source code, or that is not interpretable to users, can still destroy people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the AI that we should be worried about. Though AI does open
AVS
up
Media
some
Demo.
of the new questions, things that we haven't had
AVS
to deal
Media
with
Demo.
before. You know, when you have a programmer explicitly giving instructions to the computer, there's still places for misuse. There's still places for bugs. There's still places for intentionally leveraging
AVS Media
technology,
Demo.
especially against certain stakeholder groups where there's large
AVS
power
Media
imbalance
Demo.
between the software or platform provider and the different stakeholders that are using it or are contributing to that platform. So I think, you know, these kinds of questions of especially of
AVS
ethics
Media
in
Demo.
computer technology go beyond AI and
AVS Media Demo.
the kind of research that we do in my group today, they're more focusing on immediate issues than what's going to happen in 20 years, 50 years when we actually have very powerful AI. So you know, so today we are actually looking at government benefit systems, for example, that are implemented with if then else
AVS
and they're
Media
still
Demo.
not doing what they should be doing, right? When we talk about government benefits, these screening tools that tell people whether they should apply for cash assistance, for child support, for food stamps, and so on. There's
AVS
actually a
Media
recent paper
Demo.
by one of the PhD students working with me who have found
AVS
you know,
Media Demo.
serious issues with these systems that simply nobody can go and check. Well, not nobody, but we at least could not. Even if we requested the code, they wouldn't let us take a look at it. Now, even if they allow
AVS
somebody to
Media
take a look at
Demo.
the code, the end users, people who are applying for these kinds of benefits, they're not
AVS
going to
Media
understand the code.
Demo.
So that intelligibility, that interpretability, that explainability of any of these systems is just not there. And then at the same time, there's another PhD student who is specifically looking at these tensions that arise from
AVS Media Demo.
AI-based platforms, especially in on-demand work, on-demand
AVS
economies,
Media Demo.
where you specifically see that there's these not just that there's power imbalance, but also that the goals that the platform has, it's very much at the odds with some of the stakeholders. And while they might want
AVS
to provide
Media
a good
Demo.
service to their end users, their customers, so that of course
AVS Media Demo.
it is questionable whether, for example, their workers are being treated in a fair way, right? So you have examples of, for example, Instacart, right? That a lot of us depend on. These are all of the systems that there's some kind of algorithmic
AVS
management
Media
behind the scene,
Demo.
right? So humans who are managing the operations are replaced by an
AVS
algorithm.
Media Demo.
And we have already seen, not just us, but other researchers as well, a lot of interactions that happen because of that algorithmic management that are definitely causing these tensions where the benefit to the platform is put before the benefits
AVS Media
to the workers
Demo.
themselves. And it doesn't even have to be directly technology, right? It can just be platform versus
AVS
workers.
Media
So in
Demo.
the case of Instacart that I wanted to mention, they actually, so the workers had to deliver groceries to people, and at the same time, they actually had to scan a little barcode saying that they
AVS Media
delivered
Demo.
a flyer that said "Vote yes on Proposition 22."
AVS
In
Media
that particular
Demo.
case, what that meant is that if somebody would to vote yes on 22, they would still not get the kinds of worker benefits that other workers would get. They would remain non-workers to Instacart. So in this particular case, you see Instacart
AVS
leveraging
Media Demo.
its power on them and saying, you know what, if you don't deliver that flyer, we're not going to
AVS
count
Media
this
Demo.
as a completed delivery of groceries. So these are the kinds of things that we're also so very interested, right? So we do, in a lot of our work, we do leverage AI tools to enable better,
AVS
funny
Media
enough,
Demo.
interventions in the domain of healthcare, which you're interested in. But we're
AVS
also
Media
very
Demo.
cognizant that the kind of technology that we create, that others create, that leverages these tools to automatically make decisions for people and on their behalf without human oversight is fairly dangerous.
Yeah. And I know that
AVS
we're talking
Media
a lot
Demo.
about the fact that there's a lot of dangers that come with
AVS
technology
Media
and AI
Demo.
and machine learning. And I read a little bit of one of your papers. I believe it was called Striking the Right Balance. So when the one
I
that
don't think that was mine.
was that not? Oh, okay. But I did read
AVS Media Demo.
that you need to find the right balance
AVS
between
Media Demo.
human computer interaction and machine learning. And so where do you generally believe that balance exists?
Do I believe it exists today?
Where
AVS
do you believe it
Media
exists?
Demo.
Or
I'm sorry.
I was going to ask, do you believe it exists? And if it
AVS
doesn't, like,
Media
where
Demo.
do you think it should exist, kind of?
Well, so I think that the word balance is a little bit abstract, and I'm not quite sure exactly what paper you are referring to. So maybe
AVS
I
Media
lack a little
Demo.
bit of a context. So I truly believe that in our
AVS
design
Media
we have
Demo.
to seek something that perhaps resembles a balance, right? So this is not necessarily an optimization problem. This is a very difficult, almost let's call it a design problem, where there is no optimal solution.
AVS
There's no
Media
local
Demo.
minimas, there's no local maximas, there's no global optimas. We as humans have
AVS
to come
Media
together
Demo.
and really understand what are the effects of the kind of technology that we have, and then trying to better understand when does the benefit of having this kind of technology outweigh the harms.
AVS
And there's always
Media
going to
Demo.
be some benefit, there's always going to be some harm. So it's going to be about making
AVS
sure that we
Media
do more
Demo.
of one and less of the other. Whether it's going to be truly a balance, I don't know. I hope that we're not going to be balancing it between good and harm. I hope we're actually going to be tipping towards good more often than not. But
AVS
yes,
Media
definitely,
Demo.
these are the kinds of things that we are searching for, right? That there is no
AVS
such
Media
thing
Demo.
as technology, uniquely good, uniquely bad. But I also don't think we have to reflect on the fact that technology itself is not neutral. We as humans, we
AVS
build this
Media
technology,
Demo.
we infuse all of our biases, both conscious and unconscious.
AVS
It is
Media
driven
Demo.
by the current social setting in which people who develop the technology are situated. It is driven by their own beliefs, the influence of politics. It is driven by
AVS Media
socioeconomic
Demo.
system in which this technology is going to be deployed. It is the technology itself
AVS
is
Media Demo.
going to be shaped and will shape its own environment back, right? So these are all of the this is sort of an ongoing process, right, which is very, very difficult to understand, and therefore we have to continuously study it through
AVS
study
Media Demo.
of interaction between people and the kind of technology that we create.
AVS Media Demo.
And obviously a lot of responsibility and like where it then lies within the hands of the developers. And so do you think that like just laws and things like that are enough
AVS
checks to
Media
kind of
Demo.
make sure that or at least reduce the amount that politics and
AVS
things like
Media
that
Demo.
kind of influence the way that our technology is made, or the technology is made to benefit kind of the platform itself? Or kind of what other kinds of checks or things like that do you think we should keep in place to make sure that we can make
AVS
sure that
Media
whatever
Demo.
platforms are being created or whatever platforms are using it are doing it as ethically,
AVS Media
quote,
Demo.
as possible?
So I think it's an interesting observation to say that a lot of it lies in the hand of developers, but also we cannot forget that a lot of the developers then work also for companies
AVS
that
Media
have their
Demo.
own agendas in some ways, right? So
AVS Media Demo.
there's only so much a developer can do when told what to implement. Right, so I wouldn't place all of the responsibility at the end of the day on just developers. I think we all share responsibility. It is from the
AVS Media
developers,
Demo.
designers, project managers, the companies themselves, researchers who are
AVS
actually
Media
putting best
Demo.
practices into the world, and then of course policymakers and so on. Now to say, the solution is to remove politics from it is perhaps maybe misunderstanding of
AVS
what
Media
politics are.
Demo.
Politics surround us as social beings, right?
AVS
To be
Media
apolitical
Demo.
is exceptionally difficult. I actually think a decision, for example, to specifically be careful about how technology influences, let's say, certain groups of people,
AVS
especially, let's say,
Media Demo.
underrepresented minorities, is a political decision. And it actually has to be embedded
AVS
in
Media
the technology.
Demo.
The protections that we will have for people are going to be, in many ways, social and political decisions. So from that perspective, I don't think that we need to seek technology that is apolitical. I think we need to seek technology that is just and ethical. But justice and ethics are
AVS
social,
Media
philosophical,
Demo.
and political issues. So that is here to stay. But yes, I also strongly see that all of us, have to be part of, in many ways, this oversight, right?
AVS
And not just
Media
oversight
Demo.
of others, but our own work. So my own interest in ethics and justice
AVS Media Demo.
of this kind of technology doesn't come from observing what others are doing, but it comes from the observations that the kind of computational models of human behavior that I create, I need to reflect on these issues, right? Myself, for my own research, for the
AVS
research
Media
that's coming out
Demo.
of my own lab. But then, of course, the methods and the tools that we
AVS
develop
Media Demo.
also are there to help us look at what others are doing as well. So definitely, yes. I think we're going to have overarching policy that will be that will in some ways review the
AVS
technology that we
Media
have,
Demo.
and also review what us as computer scientists do. There's another challenge that
AVS
we
Media
face, and
Demo.
that is that we are as computer scientists, we are trained actually to believe that we are able to solve everything with technology. That's how our assignments are created during the class. That's the expectation. The expectation is that you're
AVS
going to
Media
produce a
Demo.
solution and not come back and say technology should not play a role or be a
AVS
solution.
Media Demo.
So we are the ones actually who need to be in check, because we go around and we try to develop healthcare technology. We try to develop, computational law technologies that are, both deciding things for people. We go around and, develop
AVS Media Demo.
all of these different socio-technical systems, where a lot of times
AVS
we don't
Media
we understand the technical component, we don't understand the social component, and I think that's actually where the, I don't want to call it dangerous, but that's where the place where we can definitely improve. We can improve actually our computer science education by focusing more on some
AVS
of these,
Media
calling
Demo.
out some of these issues, and really teaching students
AVS
why
Media
technology is
Demo.
not neutral. The assumption that a lot of students have, or a lot of computer scientists, and why is it that we have to work hard to make sure that the technology has a positive effect versus a negative effect on society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
AVS
And
Media Demo.
I'm only a first year student, and I'm just entering into the realm of
AVS
computer
Media
science. But
Demo.
even just in an intro level class in EECS 280, I can see that it is designed, at least right now, is problem, and then you come up with the solution, and like everything has a technological solution.
AVS
And
Media
so,
Demo.
kind of, do you think that, like, as a society, as a
AVS
community,
Media
do you think
Demo.
we rely on technology too much, or do you think it's just continuously about finding that area of how can we make sure that we are being ethical, and we have justice, and we're being aware of the social
AVS
implications
Media
of
Demo.
kind of the technology that we create?
So
AVS Media Demo.
are we relying on technology too much? I don't know. I would say that a lot of the computer technology is not good enough to fully rely on it, but at the same time,
AVS
you see
Media
that
Demo.
computer technology is becoming part of almost every part of
AVS
people's
Media
lives, right?
Demo.
And from that perspective, you see that the computer literacy is actually becoming an important aspect of people's lives. So this is definitely something that we have to keep
AVS
teaching,
Media
to judge
Demo.
whether we are relying too much. I really don't understand what that would mean. If
AVS
relying
Media
too much on
Demo.
technology actually improves the quality of people's lives, then yes, let's rely too much on it. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. The question is, in what ways does reliance on technology help, and when does it not help? But there was a lot of
AVS Media
questions
Demo.
in that one question, so I'm trying to remember what
AVS
other
Media
things you
Demo.
asked. So I don't think it's necessarily reliance on technology that is bad. It's about how we perceive what role technology needs to play, that we need to reflect on. And again, it's nothing is just bad
AVS
outright,
Media
right?
Demo.
We just need to study it and understand. It is maybe that word
AVS
balance
Media
that
Demo.
you used, and perhaps I would like to use a word trade-off rather than balance. But that's just a different approach. So yes. What was the other question? I'm sorry. There was something else that you asked that perhaps I
AVS
did not
Media
answer.
Demo.
Oh yeah, I was just wondering that, within this kind of,
AVS
as
Media
you said,
Demo.
trade-off of when we should be using technology and when that benefits us, kind of that aspect of how do you think, like, we should continuously be looking
AVS Media Demo.
the social implications? Like, how do you think that it should start,
AVS
very early
Media
on,
Demo.
like just as you're entering computer science? Kind of on the flip side, you continuously learn about the social implications and about how maybe not everything needs a technological solution, or if it does, kind of how can you continuously
AVS
become
Media
aware
Demo.
and learn to become aware of being of those ethics.
AVS
kind of
Media
like,
Demo.
of where that gray area lies.
Yeah, no, so that needs to be integrated into the education. You cannot have a single ethics course, at the end of undergraduate degree,
AVS Media Demo.
pay lip service to ethics, where students' minds are already set
AVS Media
in a
Demo.
certain way, and that just and I think that kind of approach actually has a lot of implications. A lot of implications on what kind of computer science and engineering
AVS Media
workforce we're
Demo.
actually creating, and who makes it to the end to sort of
AVS
hear
Media
about
Demo.
ethics versus actually integrated into the work. So yes, I would say this is something that needs to be part of the curriculum that every single class needs to reflect on. And again, I'm not saying every single class needs a module
AVS
on
Media
ethics, so
Demo.
that every single time you hear the same things. That's not the point. Again, the point
AVS
is
Media
how we
Demo.
approach teaching, and it starts with not just what role technology plays, but also what role computer science and engineering education plays in creating the kind of workforce that we want to see
AVS Media
go
Demo.
out through our doors, right? And there's a lot of challenges that we're facing. There's a lot of things that we're trying
AVS
to do.
Media
And
Demo.
despite the things that we're trying to do, there's still challenges that remain. So yeah, this is a complex question that no one, and especially not me, can answer in an hour or 30 minutes chat.
Right,
AVS
right.
Media Demo.
That's all the questions that I had for you, but this has been super
AVS Media
interesting, and
Demo.
it's definitely something that I want to continue studying as well, because I just think that there's a gray area in everything, and I think that a lot of people sometimes don't consider the fact that technology has a very big gray area. And so,
AVS
thank you
Media
so much
Demo.
for your time. I know that you're very, very busy, and I really appreciate you coming
AVS
to
Media
talk with me
Demo.
about this and taking time out of your day. So thank you so much for everything.
My pleasure. How are you
AVS
doing? Good,
Media
thank
Demo.
you.
And for me, because I'm majoring in computer science, I really wanted to kind of do something in technology, and
AVS
something that
Media
has
Demo.
interested me for a long time is AI. Even though I don't really have that much experience in it, I think it's like cool and super interesting. And so I kind of wanted to do something in the intersection of AI and
AVS Media
healthcare, which is
Demo.
how I got to the assistive technologies. So I guess, the first question I want to ask you
AVS
is,
Media
what
Demo.
exactly made you interested in computer science, and more specifically artificial intelligence?
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question, but also I have to sort of
AVS
give you a little
Media
bit of a
Demo.
disclaimer. So I am a computer scientist, but my primary research area is not AI per se. It is
AVS
human-computer
Media Demo.
interaction. So what I'm really interested is how we can bring some of the AI tools into human-computer interaction research to help us better understand people, the different goals that they have,
AVS
different
Media
tasks that
Demo.
they perform, and then to see whether technology or AI-based technology can play any kind of role
AVS
in
Media Demo.
supporting those tasks, and also whether it should not play a role in supporting those tasks. There's a place for technology, but there's also times where there are better solutions to
AVS
address
Media
the
Demo.
challenges that people face that is not AI, that is not technology at all, especially not computer technology. So I have to say that
AVS
right
Media
away.
Demo.
But to try and answer your original question, and it was what made me want to be a computer scientist, and what made me want to
AVS Media
research
Demo.
in the area of human AI interaction. It's very difficult to remember what actually brought me into computer science,
AVS
because it's been a
Media
little
Demo.
while. I have always been attracted to computers, and I remember earlier it actually someone